What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we are going to be discussing chapter 239 of Jujutsu Kaisen and how this chapter starts with a woman who we see running away. Now, this woman actually looks like Takako Yuro. That's what she kind of looks like, and she's kind of mad at Kenjaku for reviving sorcerers and the ancient sorcerers and turning them into cursed objects and having them live for all these years, only to just take it away from them. And we see that she gets trapped by a jellyfish curse, and we see that Kenjaku was the one that was chasing her and just pretty much telling her that if it's tasteless, he will add more flavor. If it's too strong, he'll add it more to the original. And to him, Kenjaku, these ancient sorcerers are like seasoning that he just doesn't have an appetite for. And, he's not really loyal to these ancient sorcerers. And we see that she tries to fight back, but her head is sealed by this jellyfish curse. And we see that he ends up hitting it. And it looks to be like some fail safe that he put on the ancient sorcerer's head, except obviously Sukuna and Yorame. But it's like he hits it with her and she's dead, obviously. And he just explains that the symbol on the ancient sorcerer's head is how he was able to track the incarnated sorcerers. And to me, this seems something like how Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad, how they put like these nano bombs to keep them in line. And it looks to be something similar to that. And somebody arrives and says, "Why are you even talking to a person who's already dead?" And we see that it's another ancient sorcerer that goes by the name of Hazanoki, who Kenjaku said, "Do you want to be my friend?" And he makes jokes to Hazanoki about if they're going to be friends, he has two requirements. They can't be boring and they have to be equal, which obviously Hazanoki wasn't feeling because he said he had enough of long-haired sorcerers, which, remember, Hazanoki was working for Reggie in the culling games at one point. And we see that Hazanoki makes fun of Kenjaku for always talking to himself. He pretty much tells him that his old age, for living so long, he got used to just talking to himself. And as they're getting ready to fight, before they fight, actually, Kenjaku just tells Hazanoki to hold on, and they end up watching the fight between Gojo and Sukuna. So this gives us some timeline of when this is happening. And it's happening during chapter 230, I want to say 5 is when this is happening, because Kenjaku realized that Sukuna evolved his curse technique and said that Sukuna has a good looking face, because Sukuna's obviously happy that he defeated Gojo. We all know that. And he tells Hazanoki that he has left different surveillance curses around Shinjuku to check to make sure that none of the other sorcerers have left. So he can tell who is leaving based off their curse energy, where he says that he can see that Yuta, who's clearly the number 2 in curse energy, he can see when he leaves, and even detect when Maki, who has zero curse energy, he could detect if she left, which is really cool that he can actually detect her because she's supposed to be untraceable, but he has surveillance curses to be able to watch that. He also has CCTV cameras all around Shinjuku. And he then attacks Hozanoki with some curses. And he used his tooth and exploding because his curse technique is pretty much like a bomb. So he pulls out his tooth, which is actually quite disgusting, and throws it. Kind of doesn't work. He pulls out his eye, another disgusting thing that he could pull out his eye and throw it as a bomb. But Kenjaku overwhelms him with numbers. And he just tells Hazanoki that he wants to end the culling gangs by killing all the players, and then he'll use that binding vial to activate the merging process of Tengu with all the people in Japan. So anybody that's in Japan will now become a sorcerer because the little curses was all on his neck, and we know that Hazanoki also has a reverse curse technique. Just throw in that little fun fact. So after he, kills Hazanoki, Hazanoki, after Hazanoki, pretty much gets killed, he attacks Takaba. I think that's the character's name, Takaba. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he wonders why Takaba came along as Meimei isn't even monitoring Kenjaku. So no one knows what Kenjaku was doing because they're not paying attention. But when he attacks Takaba, Takaba survives the attack, which shocks Kenjaku. And Takaba was like, you know what? You just tried to kill me, so I'm not holding back on you. I'm going to put you to jail. And Kenjaku ends up having a bad feeling because he couldn't figure out what happened. He pretty much was like, what was that? It's the first time I felt anything like this. It wasn't like there was no damage. It was like it was made it so there was no damage. So what I think Takaba, I believe it's comedian. That's what his innate curse technique is. It's comedian. And what comedian does is anything that Takaba finds funny, it turns into reality. When he fought Hazanoki, he had like ketchup or some sauce on him. And when Hazanoki punched him, it slid right off because anything that he does, he turns it into reality, which is really an interesting power because as he fights Kenjaku, anything he finds funny or anything that he can manifest will come to reality. And I think that's really a cool type of power to have in a fight against Kenjaku. Damage to him. And at first we see that Kenjaku was interested in Higuruma because he said that's the one that has the most, I want to say, the most potential to be a sorcerer. But he's intrigued by, because of Takaba's physics manipulation, Kenjaku is a little intrigued with Takaba. And I'm actually intrigued to see if Takaba can actually handle Kenjaku Gato. That's what I'm going to call him for right now. I'm actually want to see how Kenjaku not Kenjaku, but Takaba take on Kenjaku Gato, which I am most excited for. And if you guys enjoy Real Ninja Reviews content, just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get the weekly updates of Jujutsu Kaisen content. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.